What are you looking for as in a franchise player regarding your business, your coffee shop?
I'm gonna have to take all of those that's been said thus far. Definitely vision. Making sure they have a passion for what I'm trying to do. That's as far as coffee, community, self-discovery, self-love. And then she said dependability.
I like when you said soul discovery.
Yeah.
I love that.
Dependability for sure. And my biggest thing right now is financial literacy.
That's good.
And I say that for me because with any business, and then if you add like nonprofit, people are looking to see what you do with their money.
Yeah.
Especially for the community. They want to see what's being used, how it's being used. They want it to be tangible.
Right.
And I think for the People's Cafe, which is coming soon, I need to be transparent in the finance department, but I also need to be very structured.
Yeah.
I'm trying to build up my own personal finances, but I definitely would choose someone who's already at that level I'm trying to get to financially. And financial literacy is, the only way I'm gonna get there. Keep studying, keep asking questions, staying on top of everything. So yeah, financial literacy for me and a franchise player.
Okay, so for me,
you got a couple things going on.
Yeah, I have a few. I have a few, but specific qualities I'll take from each of you. Vision is number one when you're talking about franchise player. I'm not afraid or intimidated to be around people or a person who knows a little more than me.
Right.
Because we all don't know everything. So you want to have somebody sitting in the seat who brings knowledge and information to the table. Structure, dependability, all of that are qualities that I look for. And I don't know, just to be intelligent.
Right.
Intelligent.
It sounds like something simple, but
it's really not that simple.
no, not everybody.
It's really not that simple. Because what each of us are doing is carrying a brand. I'm carrying a brand, even in my husband's business ventures. And to have somebody to be able to represent that brand in every aspect means a whole lot when you're running a business. So that means if I'm in Australia and I leave you here, you're still carrying the brand. That goes back to vision, having people who have the same vision or can plug up to that vision and execute whether you're here or not. Each one of you sitting in this seat for the podcast, each of you brings something very different, and it's what do I want to say? I don't know what I want to say, but each of you brings something very different that promotes the broadcast, that makes it better, the podcast broadcast network. One of the visions is to find one day soon, I hope soon, it's going to be soon, to have our own podcast network where we can build and put podcasts on the network, and each of you branch off into that business, so to speak.
Dopeness.
Yeah, it's all dope because but vision is the one thing. And I'm rambling. I'm full of nerves and anxiety today.
You know what, though?
We're rubbing our hands like Birdman joint going on.
Listen.
And it's not nervousness because Rodney's coming on, because he's just a cool dude, but there's so much going on, and I'm trying to keep my emotions together.
It's the energy.
Yeah.
You bring up some things where I read this book called Relentless, right? And it's by Tim Grover. It's from good to great to unstoppable. And everything that we've mentioned here was kind of mentioned in the book. And he talks about how, as he was the trainer and kind of like the head coach, if you will, mental head coach for Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Charles Barkley, he talked about a certain strength that these individuals had to make them the leaders that they were, or the star players, or the franchise player. And they were all able,
mental coach?
He's like a mental coach. Yeah, he was a
Okay.
physical coach, a therapist, or if you will, the trainer. That's what it was.
Okay.
And he just does a great job of getting into the minds of those individuals and being able to communicate it so that people like us who may not be in the sports world but in the business world, it translates very well. And how the competitor is really you. But when you see your competitiveness, you start to look for it in others. So Michael Jordan was very well known for challenging the guys that would be on his team to see how strong they were mentally.
Right.
They could be talented out this world, but can you hang on in the game when the mind is really what you're playing with? So
Right.
his thing was even the 96, I believe it was the 96 playoffs against Utah, Michael Jordan had the flu. And he had the flu obviously before the game started, but his whole focus was not about the other players. It wasn't about his own teammates being able to level up their game and step up on his behalf. It was all about him playing to see how well he could perform even sick.
He was a
So if he
beast,
hit,
yeah.
say, 50 last night, now he's got the flu. Can I hit 55?
Yep.
Can I
Right.
hit 7?
Right.
You know,
Right.
so the dude came back and had the winning shot with the
Right.
flu.
Right.
And it wasn't even about the other players, which made the other players almost obsolete because they thought they was playing to try to beat him. He's like, man, me too. And it took it to another level where we all are now looking for those same qualities in other people that would be of value to each of us in terms of whatever we're doing. So I think what you were looking for was we all bring our own value that comes together to bring the vision to fruition.
Yeah.
While we all still have our individual visions, they're all working in a direction where they're working together. And if your minds is together, ain't nothing we can't do.
Better say that.
Right.
What's the song? I don't want to sing. I'm a movement by myself, but we're a force when we're together.
Yeah.
Sing it. Why?
That's what it is. I'm not going to sing it. Okay. I'm not going to sing it.
Come on, one time.
Why not?
Impromptu.
So, no, I'm good.
Tune in.
I'm good. Look, oh,
I got the beat. What?
that is not even the beat.
You ain't got to see me, just know that I'm moving.
Hey, listen,
And it looks
so-
better than it sounds. Or it sounds better than it looks.
It sounds better than it looks. So, what happens when you're in search of that franchise player and things aren't working right? How do you navigate through that? How would you? This is good for you, Cam. How would you navigate through that?
Everybody's fired. No,
No.
Or
You
is it
gotta
your-
go. You
Or
gotta-
is it your responsibility to grow that person, or should they have? Should you have to?
No, because at that point you gotta become the coach. You gotta become the GM, general manager, and be able to, like O said, communicate, be able to press the certain buttons to get them to either the next level or bring them down a little bit. Like, you gotta be a coach. You gotta be able to talk to people and get to their level, talk to them in a way that they understand, whether that be visually, maybe they're hands-on, whatever, auditory learner, whatever. But I think you just gotta go into coach mode. And I think for me, that would be a challenge, because sometimes I still have like a military mindset, where it's like, don't ask me questions, just do what I ask you to do.
Wow,
That kind of thing.
And sometimes that's good.
Because I'm like that at work too, and I have to catch myself like, wait, hold on, that's not right.
Yeah.
What can we do to get you here? Like, or what is it that I'm not doing or that I am doing that's causing this obstacle in
So
your
it's
way?
like self-evaluation.
Yeah, because as a leader, you have to be self-aware in order to get your troops or your team to move in the direction you want them to. So definitely, I need to be aware of my own flaws or weaknesses in order to build somebody else's strengths.
Okay, we're going to continue the conversation. We're going to take a break, guys, and when we come back, the comedian extraordinaire Rodney Perry will be on with us. So stay tuned. You listen to The Drip.
Got another brother coming up. Yes.
It's the smoked turkey ribs. It's the sauce. It's the service. Triple S, smoky sweet soul. Are you looking for a quick bite to eat for lunch? or maybe someone to provide food for your next get-together or meeting? Why don't you try Smoky Sweet Soul? Our award-winning cuisine is certain to hit the mark. Call us at 216-338-0518 for catering or to schedule the food truck to come to your job or special event. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, or at www.smokysweetsoul.com. That's SMOKYSWEETSOUL. Everybody loves it. Smoky Sweet Soul. Come hungry, leave happy.
What's up, y'all? Your boy, I'm back again.
Hey, it's your girl Nick, and you're listening to the new single of Montreal Derrick, Through It All, available on all digital platforms. Go and download your copy today.
Makes us stronger. It's so beautiful. We gotta all come together. You and I, we can make it do
whatever. You're listening to the Drip Podcast with Nick, Mar, Cam, Free, and O. The Drip Podcast. Keep it locked. Days and it won't be long. You're listening to the Drip Podcast with Nick and Mar. Keep it live.
Wake up, kick back, relax, take a break this morning. Ease your mind and your soul at the morning yawning. Get your mug, get your joke, get your tea, get a grip. Take a sip, you listen to the Drip.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Nick, and you're listening to the Drip Podcast. We have online with us Mr. Rodney Perry. Hey, Rod.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm getting my drip on.
Hey, keep it dripping.
Keep it dripping. Hey, Rodney, we were talking about, our topic today is choosing the quote-unquote franchise player in business and relationships. So we're just going to continue that conversation. And Cam.
Yes, franchise player is both the best player on the team and one that the team can build their franchise around for the foreseeable future.
Right.
Rodney, how do you feel about picking a franchise player?
I mean, I love the analogy. I think it's a great way to approach your business or your personal life.
Mm-hmm.
But the irony is, today, if you think in terms of sports, they replace franchise players all the time.
Right. Right.
You kind of don't get to replace your franchise player, so it has even more gravity in real life.
Mm-hmm.
You are picking a franchise player probably for a way longer period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So they got an extended contract.
Right. This contract is crazy.
So let's talk about picking your franchise player in relationships. We wanted to save the juicy stuff for last. So let's talk about choosing franchise players in relationships. Rodney, I had a chance to read your book. I finished it all last night, and I absolutely loved it.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow,
I crammed it all in last night, but it was really, really good. So when you're talking about franchise player, you mentioned a lot in the book how your wife is just brutally honest and she gave the best advice. And even when she didn't think you were listening or paying attention to her advice, you still took her advice. How did you know that she was that franchise player for your life and your career?
I mean, to be honest, I don't know if I did.
Oh, okay. That's honest.
I mean, if I'm completely honest, like, this is what I knew. Like, I didn't choose my wife because I was all googly-eyed,
Mm-hmm.
When we decided to get married, it was really, she had already showed me that she kind of really had my back.
Mm-hmm.
Dope stuff.
and that was